We are making ginger snap cookies. Here's the ingredients that you're going to need. 3/4 cup unsalted butter. I'm using salted butter. 1/2 cup sugar. 1/2 cup dark brown sugar or light brown sugar. 3 tablespoons molasses. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. 2½ teaspoons ground ginger, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground clove, 1/8 teaspoon ground cayenne pepper. Yes, cayenne pepper. 1 large egg beaten, 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 3/4 teaspoon baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. I will be lessening the salt because I'm using salted butter. This will bake in a 350-degree oven. Happy Tuesday morning, y'all. I have got the best news. Yes. One, do y'all see something different with the light? Y'all told me to get a box light. And I'm talking about, it even shows little fuzzes coming across the screen. But I hope the light is good. Actually, it's not blinding. It's a little bright, but it's not blinding. I may have it angled wrong, but hey, we're going to go with it and see, because there's different angles you can do. But hopefully this $24 light fixes our problem. Because remember, we thought we had to do something up here. Second big news. Y'all have not seen me for like 4 or 5 days because I'm going to get my feet wet in town, our local little bitty small town, and I'm going to do my first Fall Fest. Now, I don't know why they're calling it Fall Fest because, y'all, we're still in the 90s. But okay. And then depends on how well I do, and I may film just to show y'all, Lord, what did Lippy do? In October, I'm actually going to be going over to the east side of Texas, not too far from here, less than an hour, to a big fall fest that has a parade and setting up a booth there. But in order to advance to that, I must, try my hand here locally, the setup and what all I'm gonna, because I'm gonna miss some things that I'm gonna find out, oh, I might have needed that and not so much of this. So yeah, that's gonna be happening this weekend. So that's why y'all have not seen me, because I've been mixing, blending, packaging, and trying to get everything ready for my first booth. Yes, I am so excited. But since it's all about the fall, and now we are a day past Labor Day, I'm going to make ginger snap cookies, because that happens to be Mr. Buddy's favorite cookie. He's not big into like your chocolate chips or, cookies like that. He likes savory. He loves ginger snap. And in order to get that bite without the heat, now y'all, the secret ingredient is ground cayenne. So I do have my oven preheated at 350. These cookies will not be going straight into the oven. They're going to have to rest in the ice box for about 30 minutes. But I want to go ahead and preheat, because if not, I would forget and be like, uh-oh. So I'm going to drop the camera with our new lighting system, and we're going to run through this. I will not be using my KitchenAid. I don't feel like pulling it. Where's it at? Pulling it out. We're using a hand mixer. Yeah, there's just some days you just got to bring in the hand mixer, guys. That's what I used for years before I got that thing. Well, that thing's like 23 years old. It don't matter. We're using a hand mixer. First thing we're going to do is add in our butter. Now, this was 3/4 of a cup. And you want it softened, as you can see, very softened. In goes our 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup brown sugar. I'm using light. You can use dark. Now, a lot of you have seen my trick to keeping your brown sugar moist and soft, but some of you may have not. This is just a marshmallow. Now, here's a small one I'm going to chunk because I did replace my marshmallow about a month ago. But about every 2 months, 3 months, I just put a fresh marshmallow in, and I don't have to worry about it clumping. We're just going to blend the butter and the sugar until they cream together. Okay, I have it well and combined. And you see how creamy it is? That's what you want. Now we're adding our 3 tablespoons of molasses. Our last tablespoon. And to make sure I get it all out, I am just going to use a tea stir. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, y'all have seen me tell y'all before, this is not the Watkins vanilla extract. I just use this bottle and I fill it with my homemade. But I just added 1 teaspoon. Now we're going to start adding in our spices. We need 2 1/4 teaspoons of ground ginger. I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon measure. 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 2, and 1/4. We need 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon clove. Now, if you don't like this much clove, you can drop it down to 1/4. You see, I'm gonna put that little bit back. So really that depends on your palate to clove, because you know clove can be very overpowering. In goes our 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, it is not gonna make it hot, but it's gonna round all of these bold winter flavors. It's really gonna round it out and balance it with that little bit of bite, but you can omit this. In goes our 1 egg. Now this is room temperature. Now we're gonna combine this very well. And this looks really, really good to me. So we're gonna set this aside and get our dry ingredients. I'm gonna be using my sifter because I want my all-purpose flour to be fine, and that's 2 1/4 cups. I'm using a 1/2 cup measure, just the one that I used for the sugars. That's 1 1/2. There's 2 and 2 1/2. And this is actually my flour measure. This little Corel coffee cup is exactly 1 cup. So you'll see that I use these in my flours and my sugars, rice, and so forth. We need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Remember, I'm using salted butter, so I'm just going to put a pinch of salt in. But if you were using unsalted butter, you would use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to give this a good mix. And look how fine this is. Perfect. Now, I do have a whisk here because I did put my leveling, which is the baking soda and baking powder on top, I just want to make sure that it's good and incorporated. And this is where we're going to add our dry to our wet. And you know, you do not have to do it in sections because we're going to be folding it in. And it's going to be thick. And I may end up using my blender my mixer once I get it folded in good. Just take some patience because that flour will go everywhere. And you see I'm just pulling it from the side and mashing it in. It's not delicate, so you don't have to worry about that. You can be heavy-handed. Just go a little bit slower so you don't wear the flour. And this is the cookie dough that we want. Yes. Okay, we're going in the ice box for about 5 minutes, just long enough to clean our mess up. Now this is not what we're baking it on. This is just what I'm setting the cookies on here to chill in the ice box for 30 minutes because we're gonna roll them in sugar before we actually put them on our baking sheet. Now I'm just using a medium cookie scoop so I can keep uniform sizes. And look at that beautiful dough. And I'm just gonna roll it into a ball. Guys, if y'all love ginger snaps, this is probably one of my favorite recipes. There's another one I do, but this is Mr. Buddy's favorite. I figured I'd visit while I was rolling a few more. Guys, this past Saturday was September 2nd. And that was my mom's birthday. She would have been 100 years old. So Saturday I spent working in the shed and just reflecting on the great memories, even though they was only 27 years, not quite. I missed it by 3 weeks. So I was 26 years old. But those 26 years of my life was just amazing. My mom sure did teach me a lot. Gave me a lot of knowledge, but at the time didn't realize what she was giving me was such amazing knowledge that I use today in my life at my age. So yeah, this weekend was really a good weekend. You know, it wasn't sad. I just relished in the fact that I was fortunate enough to have the 26 years and 11 months with her, you know. So what's sad is to have not had her. So yeah, it was a good weekend. We do have a new project happening right now. My nose itches, and this project cost us nothing. Y'all remember all the material that Buddy's been dragging in? Well, he got just enough and certain boards or something to do this one project that we've been hoping to get done. It's not completed, but it's almost completed enough that tomorrow we can walk out and look at it. I am so tickled over this. Y'all just don't know. So yeah, it was very productive. He was able to get that done. So yeah, that's how we spent our Labor Day weekend. And into the ice box, 30 minutes. Now I have some that's a little bit smaller, a little bit larger. But guys, they're all gonna eat the same. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. We're baking on 350. And just like that, it's been 30 minutes, the love of camera. So I'm just gonna take my ball and I'm gonna lightly roll it in sugar and place it on my cookie sheet. Now, you don't have to separate these too much because they're not gonna really spread out like you think, but they are gonna get flat, just like a ginger snap. Now I do have mine lined with parchment paper just for the ease of cleanup, but I will tell you, try not to use a dark baking sheet because it tends to burn. This one's a little bit darker than what I would like, but this is the ones that I have. Okay, I'm just gonna get them all rolled. See how many we can get on this cookie sheet. Okay, these are gonna go in a 350-degree oven, about 12 minutes. Remember I told y'all every oven's different, check it at 10. We have 17 more to go, so this batch made 27 cookies. But to my hand, this is the size it's gonna make. So you can go smaller if you like. As soon as they come out, you can take your spatula and give them a light mash. Because remember, I did a medium-sized scoop because that's how Mr. Buddy likes it. Or you can go smaller scoop like I told you to make them really thin. Now I'm going to get them off and place them on this rack. Look at that cookie. They're firm on the bottom, but they're not firm throughout the center. He doesn't like a snap to his cookies. I personally do. It goes great with coffee, but he likes a little bit of chew. These actually cooked for 14 minutes. So you'll have to be the judge of how you want the texture of your cookie. I want to taste one so bad, but I gotta let them cool. But that gives me time to put a pot of coffee on, let the cookie sheet over here cool down, put the rest, well, let's see, I'll be able to scatter them out and I'll go ahead and finish that other batch on this one cookie sheet instead of running a third run for what, 3 cookies, 4 cookies, it's not worth it. So I'll get a cup of coffee going. I've got to let these cool because we got to do quality control. It's not a Lippy show unless we check. You know, we don't want no poison and stuff up in this food. So, you know, it's quality control. But y'all look at the bottom. See that? But it's got some give. It's got some heat. Give me 10 minutes. I'll be right back. I promise. I wasn't waiting for the other batch just to make the platter look pretty. They're almost done. But we got coffee. I'm going to pick this one. I set it to the side. That's the one that I showed y'all. I want you to look. It's got a snap. Well, a pull. See that? See the inside? And that's how Mr. Buddy likes it. It's going to have a crunch and it's going to get smooth in the center. Y'all. I'll be right back. Now, if only our outside would match the flavor of this ginger snap cookie. But like I said, you could use a smaller scoop, which would yield you a really crisp, flat cookie. But these are for my dear husband. And I'm so glad that he asked me to make some. Because, I mean, it's almost 3 o'clock. Girl got to have her pick-me-up. Y'all ever dunk a cookie in your coffee? Oh, my. I'm only going to eat 2. Because we have grilled chicken on the stove. We can't grill right now. We're under a red flag ban. But we'll grill some chicken. We'll make a homemade Caesar dressing. We're going to have Caesar salad with grilled chicken on it. Light. So we have fall. Supper is July. Dinner in September. And I got to close the video out. But I'm here to tell you, you will not taste that cayenne pepper. It brings it together. It warms it up, but not in a heat way. Guys, this speaks fall. So we're going to keep doing fall recipes because I am determined to have some fall weather. I'm ready to get out by our little fire pit and cook up some meals for y'all. So, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. I will leave the recipe down in the description. Cheers.